Hey,
Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnets, the review, the channel, the review. I am here with my buddy Gorogregoro, and
I'm Gorogregoro.
and we are here to talk about Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, episode 11, the penultimate episode before this season comes to its abrupt conclusion, and then either we wait for 4 more years, or maybe they'll give a teaser and say season 3 is already in production, and we'll see it like I don't know, in a few months from now.
Yeah, um, I gotta say, these episodes of Attack on Titan have been pretty good.
Well, we're getting sort of like the epic climax of the series, and it's been some really strong, really good episodes. And this was fun material in the manga, and it was good material here. It has probably one of my favorite moments. Like, God, Erwin Smith is probably one of my favorite character in the series. Uh,
he had two really fucking badass moments in this episode.
People love Levi because he's the smexy badass who's like God mode killing titans all the time. I don't know why anyone likes Armin. I think he's just you know not very smart and just kind of like this whiny little bitch who should die. I don't like Armin. Um, but Erwin Smith is the commander who not only will he sacrifice his own troops, he'll give up his own fucking arm for the sake of the mission, for
Wrong
the
arm.
sake
It
of
was
the
his
greater
right.
purpose.
He lost his right arm.
An arm, it doesn't matter. He loses an arm. That's the most important thing here. And that was like 10 times better than even the manga. Where we're just like he gets it's the usual sort of like, oh no, a character we know got eaten by a titan, but he's like, fuck no, that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the fact that we have to get Aaron back. So advance, go forward, give up your hearts, Sasageo.
Oh man,
You know,
it,
it's,
that's
the scary
that was such a great moment. It's
the
like,
scariest thing is that like you could easily see that kind of like nationalistic like fervor and passion being used for like something like horrible and evil, and like give up your hearts for the nation of Germany in Germany 1942, Hitler Germany. But
I
because it's
mean,
like
they're doing it just to save, one guy from getting kidnapped. Aaron getting kidnapped. It's like they're not really like doing it for like some kind of mass murder kind of
true, it's in a
thing.
completely heroic context within
Yeah.
the series confines
Yeah.
until later on. But as of right now, it's like the most patriotic, heroic, for the greater good thing. And yeah, it was a great moment where like he's just fucking Irwin, he's ready to sacrifice his own fucking arm. It would be like if Donald Trump, you know, wanted to go to Afghanistan to fight ISIS.
Oh God.
And, he's a miserable man, but like, and if he did, like, can you imagine that with him like a little hat on, and he's got like his like M16, and he's just charging with a bayonet into like some sort of like cave or something.
Don't.
It would be so stupid and so misguided and so dumb, but on some base level, you would probably like him a little bit more.
Well, his body is just like not built for that kind of situation ever at all right now. Like
Yeah,
he'd need to like he need to actually work out, and like he's so old. He's just like ridiculously old and just like out of shape and completely just like he was never built for any combat whatsoever.
no, well, he was like in a military academy when he was younger, but I digress.
Oh,
But Irwin,
he was in pro wrestling for he had a pro wrestling cameo at
yeah,
some point.
that doesn't count. But like the point is like when someone is willing to put their own flesh and skin on the line, you respect that on some level,
That's true.
even if it is for like a slightly misguided cause. As we were talking about, like Capone Bege is not, in a previous review, is not a good guy, but you like him a little bit better because he didn't abandon the Straw Hats.
That's true. That one moment where he's just like, "Yes, I'm using my gross Ein grosser Father
Yeah,
move."
you respect him. So for me, like, that put Irwin in, like, oh my god, you're the best character in the series. Fuck everyone else. And it's funny, like later on in the series, he gets like a moment that's somewhat similar, but it's like times 10.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't Bege's thing be Italian if he's like sort of a mafia character? Why would he be speaking German?
I don't know. It's the theme that Oda decided to pick for him. Come on, man, Greg. We got to stay focused on Attack on Titan.
You're right. This episode was so great in terms of action. Uh,
it was like
the tactic of like
well put together. It's like this is what people come for Attack on Titan, for those emotionally hyped moments of like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever.
the like the horde coming at the
Armor
Titan,
this like crazy thing where it's like, I'm gonna lead the motherfucking horde of Titans just to stop you. A lot of people are gonna die, and then like the military police guy's like, oh man, what the fuck's going on? And just, the Titan casually eats him. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's like really good emotional highs in this episode. All the characters kind of like showing up is like, hey, why'd you betray us? You're just kind of just like
that was a good scene. It's even more interesting with the context of the feed. Well, what did you think of that scene though? What did you think of Bertolt's response as like a non-manga reader?
I appreciated Bertolt's response to that. He's just like, there's probably a lot of things he couldn't tell them because he's the double agent, and he's like, but of course at the same time I still considered you all as friends. I still consider you all as friends. It's just I have to make sacrifices and you can't possibly understand. And there's like a lot of mystery built up right now about what's going on with those guys. But still, I still stand firmly that the reveal itself was the dumbest shit. If this was like a well orchestrated plan to get Eren and Ymir out of there, just like better thought out, like maybe Raynor is just like so fucking insane that right now he can't even think straight. Bertholdt seems like he's got his shit sort of put together a little bit.
Together. Like, honestly, they probably are like have really weak constitutions in terms of like serving as double agents.
Yeah.
Like, Raynor's a very sincere guy who gets into like whatever he is. He likes being like the strong person that people can rely upon. So obviously he doesn't have the mental dexterity to be a double agent effectively in terms of like not getting invested with the people he's supposed to be trying to figure out how to defeat / murder, etc.
I also wonder why they even became double agents, because it seems like they're working for somebody. I mean, they must be working for somebody if they volunteer themselves to become double agents. And then if they're working for somebody, then of course they're gonna be like, they're gonna try and be well mentally prepared. They're going to try and well mentally prepare them for this double agent thing. Otherwise, things could go horribly wrong, and all the plans will go to shit. Just like where it almost all went to shit when he told Eren like, "Oh, I'm the Armored Titan. He's the Colossal Titan." Just straight up.
Yeah, I guess it was still very sad. But Greg, it gave you this incredible epic moment of emotional catharsis where everyone's saying like, Berthold, weren't your friends, give us Eren, you don't have to do this. And then of course Ymir's emotional scene with Krista where Historia is like, I don't care, I'll go with you, I believe in you, Ymir.
Yeah, and I kind of like sort of that Armin used like Bertholdt's infatuation with Annie as a way to get him riled up and emotional. Is like, he's sort of like, I guess he sort of like noticed that, or was like on cue at that, like, oh wait, I can use this against him psychologically. Yeah, I'm gonna like prey on his mind.
As far as we know, Annie's still in the crystal, and that goes to the manga as well. Nobody's torturing her. She's just stuck in there for all time until we learn otherwise. But yeah, Armin does that thing to like torment him.
Yeah, the moment of mental weakness.
And then best boy Erwin Smith comes in arm off, but it doesn't matter. Even if he's like, lost an arm to a Titan, he's still so committed to the claws that he doesn't like whine or bitch about it. He ties that shit off with a tourniquet and motherfucking slashes Bertholdt and gets Eren back.
Yeah.
That's why Erwin Smith is the best character. Fuzzy Eyebrows is the best. Scouting Commander is the best. He deserves all the body pillows and fandom and should be cosplaying as Erwin Smith. Best character.
Best character, hands down. I mean, that was a cool moment. Where the hell was Levi this whole time? I wonder.
I think his arm was broken, so he's on sabbatical, so he had to be left alone.
Why was his arm broken again?
I forget. I think maybe when he was fighting Annie back in season 1, he somehow broke it when he was fighting her.
Oh. God, a lot of these characters should be on fucking sabbatical after dealing with Titans like this.
Well, we're also losing a lot of extraneous characters. And then it ends in the big cliffhanger where the smiling Titan, the one that ate Eren's mom, is back.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Big, Eren now with his slightly more improved form, will he be able to take down the Titan who ate his mother?
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, the Bleach a hollow that ate Ichigo's mother.
Yeah, Ichigo's mom. Yeah, it really is kind of like that. Although she's not a shifter, so it's a little less dramatic in the sense that she's not a smart Titan.
No, yeah. It's sort of like a generic hollow that's just oh, yeah, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time and I ate your mom. And,
Well, there's a little bit more to that Titan than just that. I mean, but you are.
I think you told me a while ago.
Yeah, I told you, and you forgot about it.
No, I didn't. I didn't necessarily forget. I remembered some of it.
But I mean, you're right. For all intents and purposes, there's a larger thematic reason why that makes her more significant and kind of a little bit more fucked up. But for our purpose, she's just a signature monster who's just there at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And then they'll play the Bleach music. Get
some satisfaction. Blah 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 blah. Whoa.
Those the times when Bleach was pretty cool, I guess, and then.
Well, it is. You're right though. It is kind of similar to Bleach in terms of this is the first monster. This is the most signature monster versus the Grand Fisher, who was the signature monster of the Bleach universe, who was responsible for his mother's death.
Yeah, but it's still a generic monster that there's just have a lot of hate and spite towards, and caused a chain reaction of events.
Well, if you remember back in Bleach, he tried to make it more involved, where that became an Arankar, and then Ichigo's dad kills it, and that's when we learn that he's a Shinigami.
Wait, I thought the Grand Fisher died the first
No,
time.
he doesn't. He doesn't get killed. He comes back at the beginning of the Arankar arc. He's one of the first Arankar we ever see.
Oh yeah. Ichigo doesn't kill the Grand Fisher in his first battle.
No, he gets away, and then eventually his dad kills him.
Okay. That makes sense.
Then there's the whole convoluted retcon backstory about Ichigo's mom and how she was lost her powers because of the.
I hate that.
We're digressing. That's we'll do maybe a Bleach thing some other day. But still, this was a fucking great episode of Attack on Titan. This is why we come back week to week to this series, and it was great to see my boy. Hopefully, becomes a meme. Although, do you like that one scene where Mikasa's peering in at Bertholdt, and she just has these eyes, these crazy eyes.
Yeah. Mikasa's just she's also to Krista are you our enemy or friend? I'm gonna kill you if you choose Ymir over Eren.
Yeah. Mikasa definitely got a really good badass moment. Although, aside from her creepy, husbandu infatuation.
Husbandu. Yeah.
Oh man, I hope they don't make that canon. It's the anime. They push it even further than the manga. The whole Mikasa, sexual affection for Eren.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But hey, it's totally cool. They're not related by blood. They're she's an adopted sister. So it's totally cool. I don't know where I'm sure there's someone who's written a really great video that I'd probably love to explain the whole sister fetish thing in Japan.
I mean, incest is probably a very common thing to, do a fantastical thing about in general. Just, but they
I
wouldn't.
say that because
I
it's
don't
like,
see them doing it like full blast on a thing, something like this.
well, so far they haven't, and like largely the closest thing, there aren't really many canon romantic relationships, and I don't think that's something Ishiyama is particularly interested in doing. I mean, there is like this grim sort of thing where like, oh, maybe like when everything ends, like Mikasa and Eren get together, yay! But I like to feel that like given the sort of like tragic overtones, that like it'll probably end more bittersweet than that.
Um. Yeah, I can see that.
So Greg, what would you rate this episode?
Probably. Probably 8.59.
I think it's a solid 9 out of 10. I'm surprised you went lower. I thought you would have been like 10, but yeah,
Because the stupid reveal, it still lingers on in my
it
mind.
still is a bad taste that you like. You still hate it, even if you're enjoying all this Ymir conflict. And that was funny when Ymir's like, outside the walls, the Titans aren't so bad once you get to know them.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. Where they're talking about like, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get along with the Titans because they're gonna be too busy eating me. It's
Yeah,
like, and that sentence coming out of Krista's mouth was pretty funny.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah. It's a lot more sassy than we've like come to know her as, and that's an interesting thing. Like throughout this arc, she gets like much stronger as opposed to like cute waifu who's just like the most perfect and caring person.
yeah. Well, she's um, she's
As she
definitely a cutie. Somehow, like a capable soldier at the same time.
Yeah, surprisingly, she gets her first kill. It's interesting to see how people are going to react because I feel like her, um, you know, the amount of love she gets as a character is going to skyrocket.
You think so? Like the latest
Yeah,
season?
I think she's become a fan favorite after this season, and she gets like much more of a focus later on.
Hmm.
Although, oh man, though, this is like the second Aaron kidnapping storyline we've had. Aaron, you're the worst. And you know what? It's not the last one. There's another Aaron kidnapping story that later on.
Man.
Oh, Aaron, all you can do is just get kidnapped. You're terrible.
Yeah. Why does he have to be so useless? He's just like a whiny, useless.
Just a little, I hate it.
I can transform into a Titan, but I still get kidnapped every time.
Just imagine him like, I would love to see like Aaron, like the American voice actor who does him, just like whining about shit like the broccoli is too overcooked. I hate it. Makes me sick to my stomach. I hate it when the Uber driver's late. What's wrong with this fucked up society?
I would love that. I'd love to see a YouTube clip about that.
Either the English or the American voice actor. Yeah, that would be amazing. All right, we've spent good enough time on this video. We have one more to do. So thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll have a link to my manga I write in the comments below called Shonen King. Buy that. I'm going to start pushing that a little harder. Eventually, maybe Greg will make a t-shirt and I'll put a link to that and you can buy that. That doesn't exist now.
Yeah, well, he's just telling me that now. I mean, I didn't even know about this t-shirt thing.
Yeah, I was looking into it. Well, end the video and I'll tell you more about it.
All right. See you guys.
Take it easy.